Hello, everyone. Hope all of you guys are doing well. Well, I'm doing well, just so you guys know. And today we have a very special guest here with us, Carlos Sentis. And a lot of times I would just want to chat with the guest before we start recording to kind of have a hey, how are you doing today? What's the energy like? And I think Carlos definitely one of the best before recording chats I've had, because it's there's a lot of energy that he brings, and I can already see that. And I hope we can see that more in the interview too. So how are you doing today?
I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Raheen. And it's just wonderful to see what you're doing. So thank you so much for doing it, and keep at it. It's amazing.
Thank you. So let's start with your brief introduction, and then we can kickstart the interview from there.
Great. So do you want me to introduce myself, or are you going to do it for me?
No, I am not a memorizing intros person for some reason. So therefore, I'd ask you to introduce yourself.
Wonderful. So my name is Carlos Sentís. I am the founder and CEO of the World Innovation Alliance. I also serve at the board of the World Humanitarian Forum and the Organization of Young Entrepreneurs of the European Union. I am a consultant. I am a lecturer as well in different universities about entrepreneurship, innovation, corporate and institutional relations, and technology, social impact, and other topics. And I am passionate about trying to optimize resources so we can help solve problems in a scalable way. So the whole idea is that we can find together the optimal paths towards the improvement of the world. And that can be in education, in economic development, or health. And I work on that multi-stakeholder collaboration for social impact, tangible solutions, and trying to bring people together.
That is all awesome. It's just so many things that you're doing, but I mean, so it's very interesting. It's because I have done a lot of these things, but then they're not always the same. I think because I'm just exploring through, oh yeah, I like that, I like that, I like that, but what do I want to do at the end of the day? And I really love how you have focus, you have your goals and a whole forte that you have, and then you work, around a couple things there. So awesome. But okay, let's start at the beginning. So I'm 14, and I'm always curious as to how other people were when they were 14. What were you doing then, when you were 14?
Okay, that's the first time that I'm asked that question. I was wasting time constantly. So it is amazing to see that some people are doing something valuable and useful already. And just knowing the potential that you have is going to be wonderful to see you develop these years. I was a normal kid at school, and I was happy. I was pretty extrovert. I was doing a lot of stupid things, and I was pretty much the silly guy that tries to be funny, not always succeeding at it, but sometimes I was kind of like these popular, fun, silly guy, I would say. And then after that, I guess it was several years, and you know that we guys are pretty slow to mature. So it took like 4 or 5 years until I started doing something with my life.
I see. Awesome. I mean, I think what makes school fun is definitely friends. And then there's always that one funny person in class, right? I mean, either it's school or that's part of the friend group. And I think, I mean, I was that one person, but again, it's just I laugh so much at my own jokes that I would just laugh for 15 minutes straight. And then my friends would be like, oh yeah, she's alive again when I stop laughing. So yeah, that did come in the way of me being the funniest. But I mean, yeah, I bet a lot of people around you, you made their this whole school experience and just those years pretty fun. But when did you know that you wanted to work with giving youth opportunities? I mean, when did it really click for you?
Well, it first clicked when I started working. So I started working when I was 18 years old in a newspaper. I was writing about international news and seeing lots of misery and problems and tragedy and war and terrorism. And it was very clear to me that, well, there was a lot of problems in the world, that we were extremely lucky to live in developed country. I was, extremely lucky also to live in a family that, was loving and caring, and that, I had this very safe and very fun environment. And so there was a huge shock when I started to discover more about all the tragedies. And of course, it's not like I didn't know that there were problems in the world, but that was, a moment where I did a full immersion for several months, year, and sadly I realized that I had to do something, right? And I tried to see what could I do to improve myself, to make the most of my life, and see, how can I become the best possible son, professional friend, a better person, and also a more effective and more useful person to be in a position in which I can do some sort of social impact in the world. And what happened was that after starting, because I was writing about news in international relations and conflict, but also I started writing about technology. And I discovered TED Talks and things that were not so well known at that time. I'm talking, I think it's 2008 or 7 or something like that. So I was trying to, I was discovering those talks to a lot of people saying, guys, you really need to see this, because there's people that are working on social impact and they're making a living out of that. And it's like, this is ridiculously cool. And the technology part, because I saw that for all the problems, there were also a lot of new solutions and opportunities also to tackle those challenges. So all of that combined, I started trying to make the most out of my time, and I decided to start kind of like putting myself to the test every single day. I said, from now on, I'm just going to have an exam to myself to be more skillful, more talented, more able, more hardworking, and to just be better. Because until that moment, I had been wasting so much time that I felt as non-deserving of the incredible life that I had. And for the rest of my career, it's been just trying to gain experience and network and capacity of doing something useful. And it's in the last 4 years where I have been able to devote my life to that and to work full time.
That is awesome. I think just hearing about how you started is actually weirdly pretty similar to mine, because it was when I saw, people around me that I wanted to do something for the people. And it was also, I know I didn't want to die unsatisfied. So that was one thing too. It's because I saw my brother, because he's a cancer survivor. So when he was struggling through that, I saw that and I was like, oh no, if he is like that, I could be like that. And I don't want to be in that place and be like, oh, I did nothing but watch Netflix and waste my time.
Yeah.
I still love watching Netflix, respect that. But to make use of my time, and then I started as a stand-up comedian, definitely something more fun. And then, just kind of spiraled into something way more than that. And even now, all I want to do is to help people find the opportunities, because I think it's all through opportunities that I am here. And I'm pretty sure it's all through opportunities that you were here too. And I mean, you right now are in a position where you do help people with opportunities, and so do I. So that is awesome. And one more thing. So you said that you discovered like TED Talks and this whole world out there. 2007, 2008. I was born 2007. So that is awesome. But no, I actually grew up watching TED Talks because my dad was like a crazy fan. And then I gave my first TEDx, and that was like such an emotional moment for me. I was like, damn, I am up on that stage that I've always imagined being up on. So now let's explore the awesome titles that you have one by one, and kind of go into detail about what you are doing now and what you are doing in the future. Let's start talking about JEUNE, because I have interviewed Alberto Carvalho Neto, and he is awesome, and he is the president of JEUNE. And he thinks very passionately about giving opportunities to the youth and giving a platform for their voice. So explain more about what is your role there.
Well, as you say, Alberto is wonderful, wonderful human being. He is the president. He's Alberto Carvalho Neto, and it's the president of the Organization of Entrepreneurs of the European Union, for the people that don't know what JEUNE stands for. And he has been working on youth development for a very, very long time. And now at the head of JEUNE, which is an association that brings together the youth of Europe and tries to help as many young people as possible to either create their own entrepreneurial projects, improve their lives, educate them, empower them, connect them, and also do high-level advocacy to fight for regulations that are more fair and that can help more people to find economic prosperity. And he is doing so much for so many people. It's just amazing. And the key issue here is that there's a lot of associations, there's a lot of organizations in the world, but many times, normally they're just focused on, let's say, do events and do reports and reports about the event and events about the report. And Alberto is just so focused on action. And indeed, there's so much that is being done. Just an example, I don't know the number, I may say it wrong, I think it's 500 tons of humanitarian aid sent to Ukraine in this crisis by JEUNE and the projects organized by JEUNE alone, plus empowering programs, plus delegations and trips and events and networking and thousands of other things. So that's because of the way he works, and because of the fact that he also does what he believes in. It's not just talking about things, right? And I try to do that as well. My role there is as a presidential advisor, and I try to provide ideas, and we try to make decisions that can help as many people as possible by better leveraging the resources that we have. Limited, but we do have some capacity of doing things, and we try to do the most with what we have.
That is awesome. And on to the next one. And I'm so excited to know what this is all about, because this is your own thing. So you're also the founder and the CEO of the World Innovation Alliance. What is it all about?
Well, it's an organization to bring together experts and partners from more than 150 different countries to solve problems, to find and apply specific scalable solutions, to advocate for the best possible way forward for the policies that can help, but also distributing programs and education materials that can help as many people as possible to either find a job or create a job. It is a consultancy that helps companies and institutions to maximize social impact, but it's also a training firm where we provide direct executive training to organizations trying to make the point that social impact can be profitable, and that our organizations, our individuals, and all the leaders that we have in companies have the responsibility, but also the opportunity of leveraging those resources to help more people and also benefit their stakeholders with that. And lastly, this network that we have now, more than 1,000 experts. We have people that are absolutely remarkable working on social impact, technology, education, health. And we have this remarkable pool of experts that we learn from, and that help us to execute projects or advise us or to advocate for the solutions that we propose. And some of the people that we have are just doing so much for so many people. For example, John Kamara, he's the president of Ada Labs. They're training 6,000 people in blockchain in Kenya and creating more than 125 startups in Africa. We have people that are working on AI for healthcare, fighting cancer. We have people that are, for example, educating people in Bangladesh, in India, in Ghana, Nigeria, you name it. And all these people are either extremely accomplished, influential, powerful representatives of large companies and institutions, from L'Oreal to MasterCard to Microsoft and others, but also people that are on the ground, either innovating or helping people, right? And so we try to connect the dots between different silos that normally are not connected. And we work with different sectors, we work with different departments, we work with different ages and races, and we try to look for what is the best possible way forward, right? What is the best possible call to action we can have for governments, for companies, for associations, for universities, for media outlets, what is our role? Because we see that there's millions of people in the world that can do so much to make things better, but many times they don't know exactly what they can do, how to do it, or they don't have the right incentives to do so.
Yeah, that is so true. And I'm really excited to know about what it is, and definitely connect with more people that are part of, WIA. That is the right abbreviation, I guess. Yeah,
Yes,
that is.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I would just want to, like you were mentioning John Kamara, so I'd love to connect with them as well. So just we can talk to more people and kind of spread the message of it all out there.
Raheen, we will be happy to have you as a young member, and we have people everywhere, and it's just amazing to just talk with them and learn from them and collaborate with them. And I think that they will be happy to be here in your show and just work together. So by all means, we also have people in Pakistan, by the way. So you just let me know who do you want to connect with, or whatever, or what are you interested in, and I will make something happen. Okay.
Yes, that would be awesome. And I think collaborations is definitely one of the major ways that we can make more social impact or spread the message of, making social impact. And I love something that you said of, making companies realize the fact that social impact could be very profitable and how it could help them. Because it needs to help them for them to be kind of profitable and be able to accept the fact that this is important and it needs to be there. So yeah. Okay, sorry. Random people coming up to me saying stuff. Just give me a second. I'm gonna pause the recording.
Okay.
So yeah, and okay, so the next thing I really want to know is like what is that like action happening right now, and what is something that like you have planned for the future? So what is something that people can like participate in, and what is are there like events, or is there something happening that like we can all help hype up?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the question. So there's several programs I'm launching. One is the Skills for Growth initiative to upskill more than 1 million people all over the world. And for that, we are creating a program and curating content to share with individuals of all ages, especially in underdeveloped countries and in difficult situations, but for anyone really, to help them either find a job, create a job, or improve their mental health or their physical health. So what we have discovered is that there's plenty of channels and technological tools, but also ways you can engage communities to actually distribute education to people in a very effective way without the need of huge investments or huge humanitarian aid, which is fine. But sometimes you don't have that. And the whole key question, I think, is how can we make sure that the more than 260 million people that don't have access to school, or the girls that are not even able to go to school because they are not allowed in their communities, or that the people that need to reskill or upskill because they lost their job because of automation or whatever other reason, that people that are in difficult situations that even don't have access to the internet, for example, how can we reach them, and how can we find a way to educate them, especially in those things that are going to be extremely practical for them in the short term, because education, as we understand it now, is a very long-term process that normally ends in university and masters if you can, and then you may still not know exactly how to find a job or create one, because of the idea that after masters you will have a job, but that is not the case anymore, and a lot of people can't get there. So what we see is that education is about giving people resources to improve their lives or to improve the community, and we have ways to do that. I've been teaching in different universities already, more than 18 different universities in different countries. It has been from MBAs in India to undergrads in Egypt to people in Colombia, Spain, and other countries. And there's always a huge lack that we see that is connected to the skills that can be the most. And so we are focused on those skills, public relations, coding, things that we know that if you know them and if you're able to, just acquire that knowledge in a very short period of time, you are automatically better off, more aware of what can be done, more aware of channels, more aware of paths forward in terms of your career or the ways you can make a living. And so our goal is to reach as many people as possible with that. And what we were saying before about collaboration, what we're doing is not only create the content and curate the content, but also partnering with all sorts of organizations and individuals to reach as many people as possible with this. So you were asking, how can you join or how can someone participate? There's different ways. You can either create content, you can disseminate content, you can become what we call an improve expert, which is a new concept of facilitator that we have created, and that we think that is something that has to transcend the normal idea of a teacher, because now content is available. The big issue is not if you have or not have the access to the content, it's more what you do about it, and if someone helps you to make sense of it and to apply it for your personal life. And so what we're doing is we're training trainers, and we're training people to either people that are already working in education or people that are not, that they just want to help, to become some sort of mix between coach, consultant, advisor, teacher, supporter. And so we're creating a program for that. So we have many individuals all over the world that can train others and that can help with the content that we have and the content that is available online that is already plenty, it's already clearly enough. We have to have people that on the ground are helping to disseminate that content and to make sense of it. So that's one of the things that can be done. Another one is the improved center model that we're creating. And it's something that, we see that there's plenty of space all over the world that is underutilized, from community centers to schools, universities, and many other places that you have the physical space that is empty most of the time. And what we're doing is we're creating a layer on top of it. So there's several activities that can help people to acquire skills, improve themselves, and work on projects of entrepreneurship or help each other. And the idea is that you can use any space to build an improve center, and you can have what we call the improve experiences, which is in a gym you would have spinning classes or whatever, boxing type, right? There you have experiences that are either going to help you to develop personally, going to be coaching, there's going to be innovation, there's going to be entrepreneurship, and also you can access to that improve expert that is going to help you also to deal through difficulties, but also to learn things that are going to be useful. So all of these roles that we have, either partners, sponsors, media can help to disseminate content, individuals on the ground, everybody has an opportunity to participate. We just need to know what are the interests of each individual or organization to make sure that we align them. And when things are well aligned, then it's sustainable and it can go forward. Otherwise, you're just asking people to do things that they don't want to do and they don't do.
Yeah, okay, this is very interesting, but what you just said is something that, about helping people, upskills, has been something that I've been really recently working on and thinking, is something I'll let you know when we're off record. But thank you so much for being here, Carlos. And it was awesome talking to you. And I hope that we can do more of this, and probably now that we know all about your work, we can have something that is more focused next time, I guess. So thank you so much for being here.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.